Hello, everyone. Are you feeling good? Great. I'm going to talk a little bit about employee awareness programs, and I can guarantee this is not what our company is doing. So this is not a marketing or sales pitch. I'm going to go through what we have been doing for ourselves in this area. Does it work? Oh, great. So let's take a little bit of facts at first. There are a lot of studies about breaches, and I know the numbers can be 7 out of 10 or 3 out of 5 or 2 out of 10, whatever. But the amount of breaches that will happen, it's increasing all the time. And what we should do about it? Any ideas? We could take the network cables off, right? And then nothing moves. I think the best way to protect data is to get rid of all the people, right? Because where it comes from, it's the people who make mistakes so they don't understand. Well, maybe the better plan is to educate them. So this is what I'm going to talk about today, about educating people, normal employees, professionals, and management. Because most of the breaches are linked to some kind of human error or human behavior in the systems and services. And if you talk about cost, about security training or security awareness training, it's actually a really little investment comparing to the impact that you can have if something happens. And why is that? Well, think about if something large happens. The impact of your organizations if you get a breach. Loss of customers. Nobody wants to be in a newspaper and be the company who got breached or lose some data. And eventually it will affect on your customers and you lose revenue. If you're listed in the stocks, the valuation goes usually down after the breach. And of course the reputation, who will trust you after the breach. And of course the other costs, like nowadays there's GDPR, of course, different compliance requirements, regulators, creating the reports if you have breached or loss of patents or so on. And of course the work that you have to do after breach happens. You need to restore the data, for example, or your services are down and your employees can't work. So how do we train people then? Or how do we train employees? If we look at the different training programs, the security, it's not really a sexy thing. If you take all your employees in your organization, it's not the topic where people actually want to go to the trainings. So you need to do something else. Nobody's going to register to security training or cybersecurity training if you just announce the training program. And there are different kind of trainings. And I would say that I don't think that it's possible to make every employee as a security specialist. So you need to choose what to train. And this training program that I'm going to show is based on what we have been doing for our employees. But the common mistakes that you can do with the security training is basically, it might be boring, it can be too long. And I think it's really common that you have too much information in a security training. And you should choose what kind of things you want to train to a certain group of people. Also, the usability for some of the tools that organizations are using, single sign-on logins, for example, against no single sign-on at all. It's training is of course the one thing, but one is also how to choose the tools or how to choose methods how employees are working in your environments. Another problem is that I see a lot of companies that they still don't have the security training in their onboarding plan. They hire a lot of people, but security is not in a training program when they onboard new employees. And if you remember when you started your job in your current organization, the first 6 months is the most important thing. You're actually interested in everything new, but after 6 months, everything becomes to be a standard. You're not so interested anymore, and you're not so flexible. New employees, they actually gather all the information in first 6 months. Then everything is standard. They don't listen anymore. So I would say that the security training in the first 6-month period and included in the onboarding plan is really crucial to get certain things through. The security training can't be just one shot. It should be continuous. So you need to have a program that actually goes on and on and on, because things will change. And there should be some kind of reward. Not just a stick, but something that everybody wants to have certain trainings. We gathered something that we have been training for our employees. The most important things that everybody should cover. Social engineering is one of the key things these days. We have seen a lot of presentations today where the breaches are happening from phishing or malware or social engineering. Those are really important to teach employees how these things work. Of course, the mobile devices, well, this is not one, but looks like it. Physical access, really standard thing, but I still see a lot of people going into the buildings just with some other people. Nobody asks who they are, how they can get in, and so on. Encryptions and how data breaches actually work. People should understand how the data breaches will work. Then they understand better what to secure, and they can be more suspicious about certain activities that they can see while they're working or after working. One of the good things is that I guess many of the organizations have some kind of security training. One of the good things is that if you look at the trainings, you might have classroom trainings where people have to go and then somebody's ticking boxes that who went there and so on, and they get score or they get monitored, they have their BINIT. But if you get people to the room to have training, it doesn't mean that they actually learn anything. So there are different software that can help. We have been using this kind of software. There are a lot of similar software. I've seen similar softwares over here also. That this is just an example. I took out the logo because I don't want to advertise anything. We don't sell this. This is not the thing. But there are a lot of software that you can actually have security trainings. You can have monitored phishing, testing phishing attacks and so on. And actually the software can detect which users are clicking those emails, for example. And you can automatically reroute those users to the certain trainings in your training program. This is just an example. Another example is, for example, password policies. And this is kind of like the thing, if I look at people and how they work with passwords, I think this is really crucial thing. I have a really strong statement that still most people have really bad passwords. And this is something that should be taught to every employee in a company. And also, of course, using password vaults or whatever tools to support it. I also know a company or one company in Finland who does really clever way to train people. They have hired real actors to do videos that are a little bit funny. And I guess if we would look at your mobile phones, everybody's or most of people, you get these funny videos from your friends that look at this and so on. These guys, they made it like that. So they have actual security awareness trainings based on videos, and they're a little bit funny. So people actually share them and they look at them and they learn same time the basic security processes and methods how to work from the videos. So it's not boring. It's not something that you need to read multiple hours and try to study yourself. This is our annual clock from our ISO 27001 based calendar about cybersecurity. We start everything with the ENISA report in January. I think it's been published about 28th of January or something like that. So we create policies and stuff after that. And then we based all the different training methods based on the ENISA report and some other reports. And you can see it better if you download our slides. You can see what kind of things we are doing. Another thing what we have done, we have a ROI calculator for the security awareness training, and it's also included in the presentation. Thank you.